Hey, everybody, it's that time again. Time for Fish Talk Live. Let's share this out right now. Let's try to get 100 people on the show tonight. All right. All right. Let's share this out. If we get 100 people out tonight, we are going to give away some fish right off the bat. So let's see if we can get 100 people. Tuesday, Fish Talk Live. Share this out to your pages. Share this out to your group. If you're an admin of a page, give us a contact so we can shout you out. All right. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Dave Gould here, and welcome to Fish Talk Live. So we are in our 12th episode, this month being Lake Malawi, and we've got an awesome show for you tonight. So I want to give a special shout out to all the Ron Demers Clubhouse members that join us every week. Thank you so much for making that such a great and awesome Facebook group. Welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. We're a multi-stream show that's taking social media by storm and jacking the fish keeping hobby to new levels and blowing up the socials. We're streaming tonight live on Facebook and YouTube. We're also on Periscope and on Twitch as well. Those streams can be found by searching for Ron Cichlids or Ron Demers on your favorite streaming platform. When you find the show, please give us a subscribe, help us grow the show out. It just makes it better for all of you, our awesome viewers. Our mission here is to create a live show experience for you, a gamified experience for you, our viewers, and our Clubhouse members. We're adding new segments and sponsors and prizes every week. Actually, our prize wheel is off the hook tonight. We're going to be making up for the technical difficulties we had in the last couple of shows. And we've got tons and tons of great stuff for you. So basically, if you love talking shop about fish, if you like checking out great fish and amazing tanks, if you're looking to learn more about the hobby, asking experts your tough questions, and you want to win some great prizes, this show is for you. If you're looking to be part of a fast-growing and friendly community of fish keepers and make new friends, then you're absolutely in the right spot. My name is Dave Gould. I'm the man in the control room, feeding you the vibe and creating the experience. Now get ready and start clicking those reactions to the show, because I get to introduce you to the host of Fish Talk Live. He's the aquarist, an absolutely amazing breeder of African cichlids. He's the chef and the man behind the fish food that everyone's talking about. He's also a dedicated father and husband and lover of cichlids. Here he is, your host. Let's give it up for Mr. Ron Demers. What's going on, Ron?
What's up? Hey, everybody. How you doing tonight?
So who do we got? Let's see if we can do some shout outs. What are you seeing there, Ron?
We've got Chad, Greg, Catlin. I'm getting some reports of toppiness. I'm seeing it as well. Michael Rose, Steve Maldonado, a new customer friend of mine, lives down the road. Joe, my boy Brian, Dave Riley. I saw Gigi on there. Pretty good turnout.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Gigi. We were just talking about you. So let's go ahead and start. Well, you know how we always have our business and all of that. The first thing we want to talk about is how do you get to having notifications. So if you have liked our new page, which is Fish Talk Live, you can find us at fishtalk.tv. You can find us at fishtalklive.com, a couple different places. But go ahead and click that bell there right by the share button. If you click that, you'll get a notification and you'll be able to see it every week. So that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about. Let's bring up this flow chart. So, you know, as you know, Ron and I have been putting the show together. It's been 12 times, having a great time, becoming even better friends. So much that we get to laugh at.
We finish each other's conversations and words, and we're thinking alike. It's getting scary.
Yeah, we like to snuggle and walk on the beach and hold hands.
Whoa.
Anyhow, so we have our new streaming page, which is the Fish Talk Live page. And why is it so important to like that? Not only you get the notifications, but also you're eligible to win some of the prizes that we're going to give away. We've got a ton of new prizes today on the wheel. There's also a chat bot. So I can go ahead and activate that when Ron's going to do the next segment, but when I'm done, I'll activate that. And what you do is in the chat, you just go ahead and you type in star info. That opens up a messenger information service that allows us to gives you a one-click to call into the show. It gives you information about our guests and our sponsors. It gives you information about Ron's shop, his food and his fish and all that. So that's new. Let's see what we got here. Go full screen because we put a lot of time into some really cool graphics. So this show really looks good full screen. I made a little adjustment on the choppiness, so hopefully that's taken care of. All the episodes are now on the website. If you go to roncichlids.com and you click the Fish Talk Live, you can get all those episodes on there. So why don't you go give that over to you?
Which is awesome. Having them all there where you can go back at your own convenience is still pretty awesome. If any of you guys have any questions or comments, please send them through Ron Cichlids' page, or you can directly send them to Fish Talk Live on Facebook. As we stated, we are streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope. Just search for my name, Ron Demers.
Nice.
You can click on the YouTube tab on Ron Cichlids. It'll take you right to that feed. And as Dave mentioned earlier, please subscribe. You know, we're trying to build this up and reach more people. You can also check out the wheel at roncichlids.com. You can see, you can play around with it if you like, the spin to win. And then the Fish Talk landing page is on our website, roncichlids.com.
Yeah. So, and the other thing there is if you just type in fishtalklive.com or fishtalk.live or fishtalk.tv, fishtalk.tv, you'll get to it as well. So I've activated the chat bot now. It is now active. So if you type in star info, you'll get more information about this. And the cool thing is we really want some people to call in. Ron and I, we just had the conversation, right, Ron, about maybe we should only give away to people that call in. So we were thinking maybe we'll see how this show goes. We're at about 50 people on right now. We're looking to get about 100 on because we want to immediately go to giving away a fish. So we have new sponsors that we've been talking about all month. This month is the Lake Malawi month. We had Larry Johnson on it first, and we're doing MBUNA this week. And next week is going to be peacocks, and we're going to wrap the month up with Haplachromis. But we have new sponsors. One of them is Wind Rider, and some of you guys remember Mario Vidakovic's raffle at the end of December, like one of the best fish community raffles I've ever seen. A 240-gallon with a sump and stand, a $2,000 tank that they raffled off. Well, they saw the show, and they really liked what we were doing, so they're like, hey, we want to give you a $500 wet-dry filter. We're going to start that up this week. We're going to sell like really cheap raffle tickets. You want to talk about it, or do you want me to talk about it, Ron?
Yeah, we've been brainstorming. We're gonna sell some cheap raffle tickets, maybe a dollar or two, probably $2 a piece, and then the more you buy, the cheaper they get. Also gonna offer, part of the prize wheel, potentially, or we're gonna do random drawings and picks from users from your comments, and go back and pick people to give free raffle tickets to. When it's all said and done, we'll raffle it off to one winner. The company will take care of the shipping right to your door. And I think we're shooting for 2,000 or 2,500 members. I'm not sure if we've got that nailed down yet, but we're at 1,900 plus right now and growing every day. So if you help us, with that, the quicker we'll be able to get to that, the drawing of the raffle.
Absolutely. So speaking of groups, as you know, and this was what was really cool about 3 or 4 months ago, people are like, Ron Demers, what do you got so many Facebook groups for? Well, Ron had decided he wanted to build a social media platform, do things a little differently. And one of the things that he did is he created the Ron Demers Cichlid Clubhouse. That's the main group for Ron Cichlids, and it's very active. A lot of cool people going into that group, and a lot of experienced people. There's several new people, intermediates. It's just a cool group. So come check that out. It's called Ron Demers Cichlid Clubhouse. Join that group. Actually, you need to be a member of that group to be able to win prizes off of here. So go ahead and have that. I'm trying to figure out what the issue is with streaming. It's showing me right here that everything's cool.
Yeah, on playback, it's a mess.
So everybody's on Netflix tonight, or they're downloading porn, one of the two. So
every Tuesday night at 8:00, man.
Yeah, it must be date night for people. I've got all the bandwidth in the world. There's nothing I can do anymore to increase this bandwidth. So some of the other groups that are part of the Ron Demers Facebook groups are the MBUNA Hangout, which is, if you're an MBUNA fan and you're here for that, you're going to want to check that out. The Lake Tanganyika Clubhouse. There's a great Aqua DIY group. The Amazing Tank Showcase, where we just put like the coolest, the sickest, dopest tanks you can
Win
find.
The lottery fish tanks. Yeah.
There's the New World Cichlid Hangout. And then there's a new one that we started this week, which is the Aquarius Marketplace. And that really took off. I mean, 200 members in 24 hours. So there's a lot of really cool tanks on there. There's some fish on there. There's some breeders on there. We've opened it up. So here, check it out. If you sell fish, if you're a breeder and you sell fish and you want a place to
or anything.
Yeah, anything.
Fish related.
Yeah, feel free to post that up. We've got some admins that are breeders that are coming in from other groups and things like that. So that's really cool. We're going to jump into the topic here in a minute. Let's let Ron tell you a little bit about what the new prizes are on the wheel. These are really cool.
We've added some new prizes to the wheel, just to diversify the prize portfolio, so to speak. We've added an 1,100 gallon per hour water pump. So when you're doing water changes, you can just use a water pump to put it out. We've also added a 3-to-1 power filter. It's a internal power head power filter, and Winston Pratt just won one of those a couple days ago.
I can
On
show some
a
pictures here while you're talking about them. So go ahead and talk about them. I'll bring this back. So that's the
Okay.
3-in-1 right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Winston just won that the other day. We also added a Penguin 350. It's a hang on the back filter by Marineland. Seachem Safe, 250 grams. Safe is a great dechlorinator. API Freshwater Master Test Kit. Any of us that keep tanks should have a master test kit. We also have a 4-pack of breeder sponges and a 4-pack of double sponges. So for those of you that have smaller tanks or breeder tanks, sponge filters are a great filter.
Awesome.
We added a few more prizes.
Sorry, I'm trying to alleviate this, and it just doesn't want to be my friend. So just want to bear with this just one second. Of course, I've got, a billion things open. Okay, here you go. Yeah, so we've got a couple of different sponges. Now, of course, our sponsors also have a prize on there. So Find Your Nemo. So let's talk about that a little bit. Find Your Nemo, Kevin Mills, Ron.
Yeah, Kevin, he's our sponsor for this month. Great guy. Taking the fish t-shirt industry by storm. I don't think I've ever met anybody so dedicated to it. They're really nice shirts. I mean, one of these days I may be wearing a Ron Cichlid shirt from him, but wink, wink.
Yeah, so you guys have all heard I've got my own t-shirt businesses and things like that, and do t-shirts for a lot of Amazon t-shirt companies and things like that. Kevin Mills is a really, really nice guy, but he's also a very talented designer and has his stuff together.
Absolutely.
So you've seen his stuff around and
takes some great pictures. He does some great designs. I was thinking earlier, how awesome would it be to have a MBUNA shirt on tonight? But I don't think that far ahead.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. So Kevin Mills, he's findyournemo.com, and he's on the wheel, I think, a couple times giving away a t-shirt. And I think we're, if nobody wins it off the wheel, we're going to go ahead and draw somebody on that. So anyway, moving upwards and onwards, we're going to try to get this thing going quick tonight. Here's what we're going to talk about. All right, Ron. This
week's show is going to be about MBUNA. Last week we had Larry Johnson on for episode 11. That was the beginner dive into Lake Malawi. So this month is basically going to be Lake Malawi. And as Dave explained earlier, first episode was Larry. This is MBUNA. And then we have a peacock. And then we have a hap one to round out the month. So tonight we're going to discuss MBUNA, or as aptly named by the native people, MBUNA, with a U. It's a silent. I've met so many people who don't necessarily know how it's pronounced, and they feel awkward saying it. So just imagine a U before it, and it'll make your life easier. MBUNA are the most common and most colorful of the African species. No doubt most of you have seen them, if not all of you, at your local fish store at some point in time. So tonight we're going to discuss history and habitat, species dynamics and behavior, and proper care and breeding. So first off, let's dive into the history of the lake. On episode 2, we discussed Lake Malawi in depth. So we're just going to touch on it tonight. As some of you may know, Lake Malawi is the 9th largest lake in the world and the 2nd deepest. This lake is massive. It was created millions of years ago. The cichlids entered the lake thousands and thousands of years ago. via the tributaries, which is the rivers and that flow down into it. And when those fish inhabited to the lake, there was two main types of fish. There was the tilapians, and then there was the haplochromans. Over thousands of years, these fish that were now, so to speak, living and trapped in Lake Malawi evolved and adapted to this new environment, which is this environment is a rocky habitat. There's sand and there's deep, deep crevasses. This place is just like a big, deep rift. It's a tear in the Earth's crust, and it filled full of water. So, as you know, there's many species of animals that have diversified themselves, like bears and monkeys and stuff. They all originated from one species and they've adapted and evolved. Um, so over these thousands of years, these fish have adapted and evolved to the new environment and now comprise almost 1,000 species in the lake. Um, it's pretty amazing. But as time progressed, some of these fish, evolved to use these new rock reefs and rocky shorelines as their home. As the name implies, if you didn't already know, Mbuna are labeled as rockfish. Most Mbunas that live among these pile of rocks and the rocky shores of Lake Malawi. So that's their main habitat. There's several reasons why they live amongst these rocks. These rocks and these reefs provide cover and sanctuary for the small Mbuna from larger predatory fish in the lake that primarily feed on these smaller fish. Another reason why they have adapted to that surrounding is the growth on the rocks consists of strands of algae, biofilms, and tiny living creatures, and the Mbuna feed off of those. That is the majority of their diet. Um, these rock reefs also provide a lot of protection for breeding and for juvenile fish to grow. So it's not only a refuge, but it's also where their food comes from. Another topic is that we're going to move into is species dynamics and their behavior. So you can't talk about Mbuna without talking about their behavior. That's a big part of them. There are several reasons why we are drawn to these beautiful fish. This is one of the first fish I ever kept. I walked into my local fish store and I saw these beautiful little fish, 2, 3 inches, and they were very robust, very brightly colored, and I was naturally drawn to them. Their colors, their behavior, and their hardiness makes them a very good choice for anyone that wants to be a fish keeper. There are some of the most colorful fish you could ask for the home aquarium. They're quite often confused for marine fish. I can't tell you how many people talk to me and say, "Listen, I'm thinking about starting up a saltwater tank because I'm looking for some colorful fish." And then I mention to them, "Have you looked into African cichlids?" And then I get that blank stare. What are African cichlids? And once I show them some pictures of them, they don't believe they're not freshwater. Oh, marine, I'm sorry. So there is very, very diverse colors of Mbuna. Me personally, I like the blues and the yellows and the purples, but you have oranges and reds and whites, and there are OBs in the lake. There's so many different species, some that are dumpier, some that are longer, some that are like Travasi or Fuliborni that have a bigger upper lip and a smaller lower lip. So diverse. But another popular aspect of MBUNA is that they are relatively small. They are rarely going to exceed 4 to 5 inches and have a general lifespan of 5 to 7 years. Sure, they could live longer than 5 or 7 years if provided the optimal habitat, but for the average fish keeper, 5 to 7 years is about what you can expect of them. As some of you may or may not know, MBUNA are known to be an aggressive species. It's pretty common knowledge. They get a bad rap. Yes, they are deemed as mean, vicious, other words that we don't want to talk about on TV. But at the end of the day, if you know how to care for them, you can subdue some of that. They are beautiful fish. They are very active. They are very robust.
Yeah.
These scrappy little fish exhibit very strong social behavior. Out of all the fish I've ever kept, South Americans, Central Americans, salt waters, it doesn't matter. These little guys, they have a social hierarchy, and it's very well defined. They have a territory, and they are going to guard it with their life, no doubt. And that's where that aggression comes in, especially if you mix certain females and males together, you can get that aggression. So care for them properly, you need to know a few things. One, I believe they're easy to care for. That's my standpoint. Others may tell you that they come with challenges, but the way I look at it is, if you can keep MBUNA, then you can keep peacocks and haps, and you can even keep other species. The reason why I say that is because keeping MBUNA comes with learning, trials and tribulations. You're going to see aggression. You're going to deal with breeding. You're going to deal with one fish being aggressive towards another. These are things that you're going to learn. And as you learn these, you're going to become a better fish keeper. So you want to start a MBUNA tank. My best recommendation to you would be to consider a MBUNA only tank. What I mean by that is MBUNA species only. We are not going to discuss mixing. We can put MBUNA with other fish. But for this episode, we are going to talk strictly about MBUNA. I've kept a lot of MBUNA, and I know I can mix them with other species. But by all means, they look best as a MBUNA only tank. With that, you have to remember their aggression. So several factors that fall into play are tank size. Ideally, a 40-gallon or larger tank is ideal for keeping MBUNA. A 75 or a 90-gallon, there's a 90-gallon behind me, is just about perfect, and unless you're ready to step up to an even larger tank. A 75 or a 90 is an 18-inch deep tank by 4 feet. That extra depth will help with aggression. If you want to duplicate their natural environment, which we had another show about bioscaping, you are going to need to provide like caves, rocks, hiding places. This will help with aggression, meaning if you have a fish that's being bullied or that feels intimidated, by another, that fish has a place to go hide and chill out and be by itself. Something
So
you've heard, and it's not snake oil. Trust me when I say this, is overcrowding. Most of you have heard overcrowding works for a lot of different species, especially Africans. Nothing reigns more true than MBUNA. Absolutely. So, under a normal circumstance, let's say you would have 20 fish in your aquarium, regardless of the size. An overcrowded tank, you could easily almost double that number. Now, understand with overcrowding comes an extra amount of filtration, more food, more maintenance, plain and simple. With overcrowding, I do it a lot, especially with juveniles. I do it with a lot of fish. It's much less likely that a fish will single out another fish to pick a fight with. I've used instances before where I say, okay, there's 10 guys in one room and we don't really care about each other. But you put two of us in one room and it doesn't take very long before one of us has a problem with somebody else. Same type scenario. The more fish that are in a tank, the less likely you are going to have an outburst from one fish bothering others. Part of proper care is understanding their requirements for food. It's been controversial over the years on what their diet is. We all want to provide what the fish needs, but we have a false sense sometimes of what they really need because we are looking up information online and we are looking at what these fish eat in the wild. If you are getting wild caught fish, which is not as common from MBUNA anymore, you need to understand their diet. Their diet is mainly made up of vegetable matter, and they are scavengers as well. They eat little fish and crustaceans and stuff. So for the home aquarium, if you keep a MBUNA only tank, keeping up with their diet as a proper diet is much easier. Most of the fish that you are going to get that are MBUNA are captive raised fish, meaning they've been raised here in the United States, preferably from farms for many years. These fish are not on a vegetation type diet. They are on a varied diet that is vegetable matter, maybe even fruits and veggies, and protein. 35 to 45% protein, somewhere in that mix. You want to avoid things like bloodworms. We have all heard um, stories of bloat. Bloat is usually, as far as the old wives' tale go, is believed to come from food. So try to avoid things like bloodworms. If you want to give them a treat of like Misa shrimp or brine shrimp once every few weeks, it's okay. It cannot be a staple diet. Their body, their intestines, their digestive system is not meant for it. They will sometimes grow to a larger size than Mother Nature intended them if you don't feed them what you're supposed to. Prime example is a bumblebee. A bumblebee is a beautiful, striking MBUNA, but I've seen them reach 10 inches in the home aquarium, and it's because of what they're being fed. It's not their normal diet. They're mainly these days omnivores. They're not really herbivores anymore. So keep with that diet. And with any African cichlid, remember that their water conditions are a pH of 7.5 to 8.2. That's normal for Africans, for any of you guys keeping Africans. And preferred temperature is 78 to 82 degrees. A well-filtered tank, and remember to keep it well oxygenated. These are very robust, active, neurotic little fish, and they consume more oxygen than a lot of other species. So make sure you've got good surface agitation on the top of the tank. You can see in the background right here, the top of the tank there, it's all moving. That helps. Another aspect of keeping them proper care, and I get asked all the time, is how do they breed? If you want to breed African cichlids, MBUNA are going to be the easy and most prolific fish you could ever ask for. It's a great beginner fish for breeding maternal mouth brooders. It's just about as easy as breeding guppies, to be honest. As long as you keep the water parameters and their environment and their diet where they need to be, they will breed readily for you. Gestation is usually around 14 or 15 days before they're free swimmers. And if you are one of those that would love to see Mother Nature work at its finest, you can put the female in her own separate tank. And then right around 21 to 25 days, she will spit out the babies. She will generally put them back in her mouth, spit them out, put them back in over several days. Eventually, they get too big for her mouth, and she won't pull them back in. If you're lucky enough to capture that National Geographic moment, you won't forget it. It's pretty amazing. So that about wraps up what I wanted to talk with you guys tonight about MBUNA. So
super awesome. That was an awesome presentation that you made, Ron. What I took away from it is we've got MBUNA. They live in Lake Malawi, rock dwellers. They are very territorial. They protect their rocks. So when we transfer them into tanks, they're going to have that same kind of behavior, mostly vegetarian, but because they're been tank raised and tank bred, they're pretty much omnivores. They're eating vegetables and proteins. The aggression thing. So as you know, Ron, you're my mentor for the MBUNA that I have, and they've been going nuts. So here's the thing with MBUNA is that, your 3-inch bumblebee is a totally different person than your 5-inch bumblebee or your 2-inch Johanny. They get to a certain point and these tank politics take over, and next thing you know, you're dealing with a murderer in there. And that's what I got going on right now. I have 3 highly aggressive MBUNAs that are just beating the hell out of the lower aggressive ones, the yellow labs and things like that. So, I find myself, rearranging that decor all the time, trying to find the right balance, trying to trip him up, like he thinks he's a badass one day, and then the next day, his rock is gone. Okay, well, maybe I'll chill out. It doesn't always work. It can be tricky on that, but it's just a great presentation. What would be really cool that we can do, Ron, is I have that folder of some pics on MBUNA. If you want to just label them out, we can go ahead and just look at what some of these.
Show some examples. That's a rusty. It's a beautiful fish. It's a very common fish, but they're so beautiful that the brown is actually a bright orange, and the purple that lays inside. Oh, I love it. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
That looks like a Demers eye, or nope, that's a Solosi. I'm sorry, I was looking at the barring. This is Pseudotrophus solosi. This is one of the fish we were talking about last week that Larry Johnson and a team of people reintroduced to Lake Malawi because it was almost gone. Beautiful fish. Males have that color. Females will have a yellowish color. Beautiful fish. Sokolafai.
Yeah, that's one of the prospective murderers in my tank. So it's either this guy or the Johanny or the white top hara.
So they're one of the top 10 on culprits. Beautiful fish. The powder blue smacks you in the face, and then that bold black on the fins, man, that's one of the first fish I kept. Absolutely love Sokolofai. This is a white lab. There are several types of labs: yellow labs, white labs, clown labs. It's a Libidochromous species, beautiful white platinum, and when the LED or bright light hits them or sunlight, they have like a platinum blue sheen
Yeah.
to them.
I have
Beautiful.
I have one, and he's his parents, one was a yellow and one was white, because he's got a yellow head. My white one, just
Oh,
like that, but he's got a yellow top, like a red cap, but yellow cap.
they're in the lab species. This is another one that was what you were getting into. That's a Lions Cove yellow lab. These are yellow labs are very common. You can go to any pet store in the world, and they probably got yellow labs there. It is absolutely number one entry level for MBUNA, and for good reason. It is absolutely a breathtaking fish. The yellow, I don't care what kind of fish you keep. Aside from saltwater, that yellow right there that you're looking at is hard to beat. There's a lot of people that put yellow labs in their peacocks and hapstanks just because they want that yellow. Um, Labs are not known to be aggressive. They are a little more on the passive. This is a yellowtail ACI. Um,
Yeah,
Beautiful fish. Males and females look almost identical.
yeah, I love it. Mine get really, really dark,
Yep.
like
I've seen them
almost
turn
black.
almost black.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
These guys will get big too. Under normal circumstances, like my breeders that I had, the male was pushing 7 inches at full size. Males and females basically look identical. This is something you don't see very often. This is called a yellowfin mabamba. This is also a Libidochromous species of fish. A very striking pattern, and it has yellow on the fins.
yeah. It's pretty. I have a
Thanks.
Mabamba. He's got a little yellow on his head too.
Oh yeah, they sometimes
Yeah,
they get it right above their nose.
yeah, yeah.
So
This
these
is
are
the
stone
meanie.
cold killers.
Yeah, the killer.
Stone cold killers. What you're looking at is Melanochromis auratus. The females, well, at a juvenile stage, the females and the males have that yellow color. As they mature, the females will generally stay yellow, and then the males will turn black, and they'll keep some yellow on top. And that bar on the side is actually like an iridescent high blue. Now, sometimes the females would turn black too, but I can almost guarantee you've got a male in your tank and you ever have a fish that's dead for some reason, I'll put $20 bill that
Yeah.
says he's the reason.
Yeah,
Beautiful fish, absolutely beautiful striking fish, but they're dicks.
yeah,
I just don't have a nicer way of saying it.
yeah,
This is a bumblebee.
yeah.
Beautiful fish. Crabro, that's
Yeah.
the scientific name.
Crab roe.
These guys get big, and they are also on the top 10 hit list of just brutal butt heads. Males will
Yeah.
almost turn a solid black depending on their mood, and they get big. I mean,
Yeah. So
they
I
get
was
some size
I was watching a program about these ones, the crab roe or typical bumblebee. I have one. He's the largest MBUNA I have. He's greater than 6 inches, but he's not the worst one. But he's up there. I mean, he doesn't put up with much. Anyway, I was watching a show about them and how they use their colors to fool other fish. And so the other fish think that they're the protectors of this fry or whatever's going on in the lake. Yeah, then they sneak in and then they eat them. So anyway, they're pathological.
Like a, like a fish ninja. They sneak in and boom, they're.
Oh, I love this fish.
This is one of my favorites. This is an elongatus species of fish. This is called a chalosi. There's two of them that look very similar, the chalosi and clavis. They look like a bumblebee, a true bumblebee that, a bee, or like a normal hornet bee type. The black and the yellow is absolutely. You don't see them as much in the hobby as you used to. They are still available, but absolutely striking fish.
This is another one of my favorites. Yeah.
Another elongatus. I have raised and bred the elongatus chawari. These guys also have mood changes. They'll look like this sometimes, and then sometimes you won't see any barring on them at all. And sometimes the yellow will be even farther, but I can't keep these in stock when I get them around 4 inches. Just the sheer color change between the black and the blue and the yellow is amazing. Beautiful fish.
It's another favorite of mine.
These badass, man. I don't. These are the Mason Eye Reef chilumbas. This is a true Mason reef. They don't have that black band on their dorsal fin. These are much harder to find, but absolutely striking fish. Now, this is a breeding dress, meaning they're going to show you this powder blue, almost snow white with the black barrings, usually when they're fired up, breeding or protecting their territories. Beautiful
Yeah.
fish.
One of the cool things about MBUNA is that we always get their collection point. Like this one here is Maison Reef. One of the cool things about the MBUNA is that these MBUNA have been on Mason Reef not just for like this last year or this season or that season, but for like 500-600 years in this one small 2,500-foot part of the lake. And these are their rocks. This is where they do their business and all that. That's one of the cool things about MBUNA.
It's just like the world. We have different continents and different ethnicities, and that all exists within the lake. That's what makes it so diverse.
Yeah.
This is another one of the Libidochromis. This is what we call a clown lab. They are Libidochromis, like the yellow lab and the white lab, but they'll be a powder blue with dark bands and the dark across the top. They're very easily mislabeled because not a lot of people know what they are or see them in the hobby, but they don't get very big. These guys generally don't seem much bigger than 3.5 inches, but absolutely striking fish.
Yeah, this one's going on my list, Ron, my special MBUNA list.
That looks like a cobalt zebra.
Yeah.
Beautiful egg spots. As most of you already know what egg spots are for, it's to replicate the female's eggs to stimulate him to put a little magic sauce.
Some berry white, some candles, and a little bit of wiggle. You know what I mean? Let's start wiggling.
Wiggle. There you go. Kobu Afra.
Absolutely. It's on my list too.
They're beautiful fish, but top 10, man. Killers. Yeah. Afra, AFRA. Remember that, everybody. AFRA means I could probably throw some.
Yeah.
But they're friggin' mean, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. Absolutely beautiful fish. I used to breed them. They were brutal on their females. If you're going to keep them, try keeping them in a species only, meaning just these, and you'll truly appreciate how striking this fish is.
Yeah, and the disclaimer on that, Ron, and we talked about this in some of the other episodes, is each fish is individual, just like a human being. They might be naturally have the tendency to be a little bit more aggressive, but each fish can be. You can have like, the killer, and then a version of it that is just likes to hang out with his rocks and he's cool with everybody.
Absolutely. They're bipolar. 1 minute they're perfectly normal, and the next minute they're cuckoo.
Yeah, this is a killer in my space. Go ahead.
These are very popular, but people don't realize how brutal these are. These are Demasoni, and
it's also known as a dwarf cichlid, right?
Exactly. As I was getting ready to say, this is one of the dwarf cichlids. These guys rarely get 2.5 inches, maybe 3. Beautiful, striking blues and blacks. But once again, the disclaimer, they are mean. There are 2 versions of this fish. There's the one you see here, and there's one that we don't have a picture of. It's called the dolphin manda. It is what is considered the giant Demasoni. I've had some reach 5 inches. Looks very, very similar, almost identical, but there is a giant version, so to speak. These guys are near and dear to my heart. You won't see these in the hobby much anymore. I don't know why. I really don't. One of the first MBUNA I've ever kept in my life. This is an Exasperatus. I think they've since renamed him again. They do this all the time. It drives me crazy. These guys have beautiful auburn brown with green flecks in them. They look saltwater all day long. They look like some type of little saltwater fish that would be hanging around the bottom. Beautiful fish. I don't even know how available they are anymore.
I
I love them.
have one, and
Yeah, one.
I can't remember. There's color changes for the male, female, but mine's a lot more blue and green. But it does have
That's
these
a
gold
male.
bars, yeah, and it's kind of got that bassy kind of green shimmer. It's cool fish, and actually one of the mellow ones.
Yes,
That fish won't
absolutely.
put up with anything. The skullfly can come up and nip it, and it will turn right on it and be there. But it won't ever bug any of the other fish. It's always like really cool. So I
Beautiful.
do love a fish too. It's one of the first ones I ever got as well. It's funny you say that.
I wish I just don't know why I don't see them more in the hobby anymore. But there's fish like this one here that push them out of the hobby because look at them. I mean, that's a gold kawanga. Man, that's badass. That's the only way I'm gonna say it. I don't care if anybody agrees with me saying ass. That fish is badass.
Yeah, it is.
Um, they are just. I've bred them. I've kept. Um, damn, the yellow and black on these guys is just pure fire, man. It just they're gorgeous furs. You can sense it in my tone. I've kept these guys, and I've a friend of ours, Abe Marie. He got a colony from me and a few others, and they send me pictures all the time. I look forward to seeing them. This is another one of the AFRAs. This is a
J-Lo.
JLo Reef
Yeah.
Afra.
Yeah.
Um,
I have one just like this, except he doesn't get that color. He's always dark in color. So I figure,
are you
what's
sure
that?
he's a JLo Reef?
I'm pretty
Because
sure.
a red top zebra looks almost identical to the untrained eye.
Okay, so maybe it's a red top zebra,
The
but
red top zebra won't have the defined stripes, but will have stripes. Will have
yeah,
the yellow on top
yeah.
and look very similar. The difference is a red top zebra will be bigger, will get bigger.
Well, okay. So the one I got, he's small. I'll have to shoot some video and shoot it your way, Ron. I'd like to
Okay.
get clarification on that one for me. Oh yeah, here's a couple of
Wow,
badasses
this
too.
is very popular fish. You're going to find these at every pet store as well.
Yeah,
This is a Lombardio. It's a Kenyai.
yeah,
Everybody has heard of Kenyai. As a juvenile, the males and females will have that blue look with the dark barring. As they mature, the males will start to turn yellow, and then slowly the barring, you can see the barring very faint if you look at that yellow fish. And as they mature, that barring will disappear and they will be a solid yellow for the males. The females will stay that blue color. I've had them, my breeders, I've had them as large as 6 inches.
yeah.
Male Kenyai are also known to be aggressive, but usually only to other fish that look similar to them.
So I had three Kenya that came with the this newest batch that I got about 8-9 months ago, and two of them turned out to be male. The second male took a long time to color because of the first one. But
So dominant.
that first one, I could cut my hand on the rim of the aquarium, and he would literally come in and lay on my hand for a 3 count. 1,000, 2, 1,000. It was the coolest thing. He's like my best friend in the whole world. He was my trick fish, right? He was so cool. Yeah.
I love these guys. I had some recently. I think Mark Rose, if he's on tonight, Mark Rose got a colony of these. These are Luwinu Reef zebras. They look similar to the Masonite reefs, but they are more of a purplish color and they have some yellow in their fins. And then they're just really striking fish. Even the females are pretty good looking fish.
I'm trying to see how many are in here because got a little bit to go through. Let's
I'll
just
fly
go.
through 'em
Yeah,
a
let's
little
go do
faster.
this. Yeah.
This is what I call a mangano. It's been renamed 100 times. This looks very similar to electric blue Johanni. The reason why it's not an electric blue is because there is no vertical barring in this fish. That makes it a mangano. Mangano females look like that. Males will be darker.
Mm-hmm. This is on my list, by the way, Ron.
OB Trevivasi.
Yeah.
If you guys look very, very close, you can see that it has a bigger upper lip than a lower lip. These are specialized feeders. Mother Nature has made them evolve to having that type of mouth. Two types of fish, Trevivasi and a Philoborni. This is an OB called a marmalade cat. absolutely striking fish.
Yeah, yeah. I love the goofy face. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's so cool to look at every time I
I like
see
things that
someone.
are different.
Yeah, yeah.
Nakoma lime. This is a not well known fish, but it's a beautiful yellow-ish fish with purple on the sides.
Yeah. And we have this. We're going to actually show this fish in a little bit here.
That's our fish of the week. This is a Masobo deep. Males and females are different color. This, of course, is a male. Absolutely gorgeous fish. And the patterns on the sides, not always, they always look a little bit different, but they have that modeling look to them. Masobo reef. Masobo deep, I'm sorry.
Awesome, Ron. This is what we talked about as more of a low-key episode as we're just doing the MBUNA, but it's actually turning out to be one of my favorite episodes. It's a really good job on the information, some great pictures, and this is a great episode to come back to. You want to know about MBUNA and get all that stuff in there. So, if you're interested in MBUNA, do it. Go out and do that. Ron's got MBUNA on his shop, Ron Cichlids. As you all know, FishTalk Live is...
and if I don't, I can get a ridiculous amount of species. I have access to... I just shipped out yesterday Elongatus mapangas. Someone's been looking for them. The person said they were looking for them for 27 years. And I found them and got him a colony out. He got them today, and he's blown away. So I can get just about anything.
All right. So what do you think about this, Ron? We've got about 80 people. It's jumping between 75 and 80. Why don't we say the fourth caller is going to spin the wheel. Let me put that call-in graphic. Here's what that graphic looks like. So copy that down. You can also type in star info into the chat, and a chat bot will load. And if you're on your mobile phone, it's one click, and you call in. The fourth person is going to spin our spin to win wheel. You can win any of those prizes that he showed out earlier. You can win. Just trying to check the levels here. Gotta turn that down a little bit. You can win a large fish of your choice. Just go on to Ron's shop, and the shipping's included. There's a ton of stuff. So the fourth caller after the break is going to win. So we're going to go ahead and show some of our information in the mid-break for our sponsors. We just want to thank our sponsors, and I'm going to come back to that. Over this thing. Okay, everybody, here's one of our sponsors, Windrider Creations. I just wanted everybody to know that they're going through a rebranding right now, and they are changing their name, and they're going to be called Acrylic Habitats. They've got 4 different brands that they're doing. They've got their Sump brand, the Bird brand, and all of that. So just keep that awareness out there, and just remember that Windrider Creations is now becoming Acrylic Habitats.
Hey, what's up? I'm Catlin Douglas. I'm from Rochester, Illinois. Try Ron Cichlids, you guys. His fish are awesome. They're big, beautiful, vibrant. I got a couple of them in here. Also, his food. His food is unreal. They devour it. They splash me for it. That's the only bad thing I can say about the food is I get wet every time I feed them almost. But 5 stars all around. Get a hold of Ron, roncichlids.com.
All right, so we're back, Ron. Our chat's lighting up. It's working again this week. We've got 3 callers in so far, and we still haven't hit our winner on that. So if you're on and you're listening to the show, know that we know you're there. Just stay on the line, and we'll go ahead and answer in that order and see if you have any questions. So we can go ahead and open this up to questions right now if anybody has any questions about that. I don't know if you saw any, Ron.
I haven't seen any while I was reading.
So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let them have that time. So
It looks like it may have.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start with the. I'm just memorizing this phone number because we do have a winner. Hey, caller, you're on. Can you hear us?
I think they're muted.
Yeah, I'm unmuting you. Can you hear us, caller? Caller, can you hear us? I don't want to spit your phone number out. I guess it's already going out. Why is it doing that? All right, you were number 1. Thanks for calling. We are going to move on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, caller, you are number 2, but I wanted to give you an opportunity if you had any questions about tonight's show and any questions for Ron.
Yeah. Do you recommend with Moombas to only have like one per species?
Depends what you're trying to achieve. These days, there's one of 2 options. You can choose a male-only tank. If you're going to do a male-only tank, then yes, choose one of each species. If you are going to do a species-only tank, then get them as juveniles, grow them up, have a few males and the rest females.
These were all right. So thank you so much, caller. You were number 2, so you didn't get to spin tonight, but we appreciate you. Give us the like on the page and keep tuning in. What was your name, by the way?
Nick.
Nick. Nice to meet you.
Nick, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. So we're going to go to, this is our 3rd. Oops, I let 2 in. So I'm going to unmute the 1. So don't get confused here. Let me unmute here. All right, caller, you were number 3. We really appreciate you calling in. Who is this? What's your name?
Yeah, this is Jordan Simmons.
Jordan, you are awesome.
Jordan.
We appreciate you calling in. You were number 3, so you don't get to spin to win on this one. But don't go nowhere because we're going to do another spin to win in the chat module. So just keep that in mind. We're going to do that real quick. Thanks for calling in. All right. Okay, so here's number 4.
Hello?
You're caller number 4. Who is this?
This is Fernando.
Fernando. Hey.
Fernando Gonzalez. Yes,
Hey.
sir. How are you guys down there?
Good.
How are you?
Mi hermano, de otro
Good.
mamá.
Right?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Awesome.
Down in the southwest.
Awesome. Hey, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this. We're going to finish answering some questions and all of that, but let's go ahead and let Fernando spin the wheel. So let's see how that is going to work. So there's usually a couple of things we ask about that. I'm going to pull the wheel up right now. Let's see. And keep in mind that the show is about 1 minute and 20 seconds ahead of everything. So if you're watching on your device, it won't look right, but it's all good. All right, so there's the window I was looking for. Oops, it's not the window. It's this one here. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. All right, so we've got the wheel up, and usually the questions that I ask is, how many seconds do you want the wheel to spin? 3 to 15.
Let's go with 26.
3 to 15.
15.
Okay.
15.
So let's put that in there. Here, and then give me a number on the clock, like 1 through 12.
7.
Okay, that's where I'm going to start the grand prize at number 7 position. So there is number 7-ish right about there. And here we go. Good luck.
Nice.
It's spinning. We got 15. Oh, here it comes. Looks like you won the Aquanet 3-in-1 power filter. Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Nice. That's a nice one.
Yeah, so this is how you collect on that. You go ahead and you can send a message to the Fish Talk Live page on Facebook. Send us a message and send us your address, and we will send that out to you. You should get it in a few days.
I appreciate that. I've been enjoying the show. It's been very, very informative. All the shows, actually, we've been watching, so I really appreciate all the information you and Ron have been providing for all the group here.
Well, we appreciate you, bro.
We appreciate it. That was the mission for doing this, so I'm glad it's helping.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to let you go. Have a good evening, okay?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you much.
All right, we'll see you. Let me do a little switcheroo. We have one more person. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a question from our caller. Hey, caller. Welcome to Fish Talk Live.
That was the mission for doing this, so I'm glad it's helping.
Can you turn? Yeah, you're on. Can you turn your show down just a little bit? There you go.
Sure.
So, what's your name?
Blake Blumenthal.
Hey,
Blake. Yeah, welcome. So you missed the caller 4, but do you have a question for Ron about anything he talked about tonight?
I was curious about. Sorry, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I have my wife's phone right next to me.
Yeah, that works.
But I was curious about transitioning from Northfin to Ron's food. I have a pretty mixed tank. I have South Americans, MBUNAs, Haps, and Peacocks, but I constantly read in all these groups about Ron's food and everybody transitioning over to Ron's food. So I'm curious if it would be an easy transition, or do I need to kind of mix the both of them together, or what?
Every situation's a little bit different. First off, try switching and see if they take to it. If they don't, then you can try mixing it. And if that doesn't work, another option is cold turkey. Starve them. If you starve these fish for 3 days, it won't hurt them. And then when they are hungry and you feed them, they'll eat anything you put in the tank.
Yeah, they're pretty aggressive, man. And that was another question. I have a guy I work with who was a fish rescue. So he deals with a pretty decent mix of fish, and he calls me whenever Africans come in, and I usually go snatch them up. And he told me about the bloodworm frozen cubes that he was feeding his guys. And so I went and got a box. They were cheap. And since then, I've thrown one in with my mix of Northfin, but the only guy that gets it is my Livingstone eye, and he crushes it. And nobody else gets any, and he hasn't had any bloat. So it makes, I'm curious. Everybody says stay away, but
it doesn't work that way. It's the problem with bloodworms is it's very rich. If you feed it once every few weeks or once a week, on most species, you're fine. A Livingstone eye is not a MBUNA. It is a predatory hap that eats other fish and small critters in its native habitat. So it can handle the higher levels of protein. It's digested.
Okay.
It's adapted for it.
Okay.
But when you have a mixed tank like that, you can't control who gets what food. So you need to try to balance the diet abroad for everybody that's in there.
Yeah. For me,
good food, just very, very sparingly.
Yeah, for me, I have an MBUNA tank that has a few other species that I grow out in there that would like a little bit more protein. But because I don't want my MBUNA to have any bloodworms or anything, those other ones won't see any bloodworms until they get into the bigger tank with the other ones.
Choose something along the lines of an insect or earthworms. Yeah. That is a more natural protein than like bloodworms.
Hey, what was your name again? I'm so sorry. Nathan? Blake. Yeah, Blake.
Blake, yeah.
Totally appreciate you calling in, Blake. Call in every week if you'd like. We totally appreciate you and having you on the show.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Good night.
Take care.
Okay, so why don't we do this since we're running a little behind where we want to be, and we've got a ton of stuff that we got to give away right now. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Don't drop off now. We're at 65. Don't drop off. Share it out, if anything, right now. We've got 2 episodes that we're behind, and I'm actually looking at the software, Ron, and it appears to be working just fine. So,
let's not jinx it.
Yeah, we're not going to jinx it. So, on episode 10 with Joey Mullen, we needed to give a spin away. and we needed to give a Find Your Nemo shirt away. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Woo Picker, and let me pull that up here on our posts. Here's our post. Let me just find the Joey Mullins. Here it is. So I'm going to pull that post up. Oops, I'm so sorry. You guys aren't seeing it yet. Now you're seeing it. Okay, so here's the post, right? And this is the show, and it says that there was 500 and something comments with this amount of likes and all that. We're going to go ahead and pick winners. Make sure I had cleared it out from before. Okay, so we're going to pick winners from this. We're going to go by a hashtag that we did. So I'm going to pick the hashtag. I think it was spin on that day. Why don't we pull one? Did we do it shirt and spin? Let's go ahead and go spin. And we're going to go ahead and pick a winner for spinning. And that person is going to be Robert Cox. So Robert Cox, you are the spin winner from that episode. I'm going to go ahead and also pick the t-shirt winner. Okay. So I'm going to do that by all comments this time. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it. And this next person is going to win a Find Your Nemo shirt. This is for the episode 10 that we got backlogged on. So Mike LaForce, you have won a t-shirt of your choice, I believe, or something that maybe Kevin had picked out.
Yeah, reach out to Kevin Mills.
Yeah, reach out to Kevin. So we have a spin here that we need to go ahead and go to for Mr. Robert Cox. This is episode number 10. I'm going to spin it for him. I'm going to reload, and we're just going to spin it. I'm going to try to change this so it doesn't spin forever, because that was a long spin. Let's go ahead and, what do you say, 7? Let's let it spin 7 seconds.
Sure.
So there's that. We're going to apply our changes, and we are going to spin for Mr. Robert Cox. Good luck, Robert. So like we said, there's a bunch of, the grand prize on this is the power filter. There's another one.
Another one.
Yeah. Awesome. I got one in every single one of my tanks, this filter. It's super awesome. I connect an airline to it, so it puts out this really good stream of bubbles. So that's on that one. Now, let's go.
Robert.
Yep.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, congratulations, Robert, for sure. Let me get his last name. Robert Cox. So there you go. You'll see it. I'll set all this up for everyone. Let's go ahead. We're moving quick, everybody. Larry Johnson interview last week with the Lake Malawi. Again, we apologize about the audio on Larry. It was a good interview. If you listen real careful, you get a lot of really cool stuff. But we need to go ahead and do the same. But this one's going to be 3. This one is a spin. And we're also giving away ADA Tank Supplies second rocks that they did. It's a $50 gift certificate. You can use that to apply it towards... If you find an $80 rock, you can apply the $50 towards that. So I just want to give another shout out to James Smith and Jeffrey Kirk. They're in Springfield, Missouri, ADA Tank Supply. They have some of the coolest rocks. They got your Anoco rocks and your
Black Cerejo.
Cerejo. Yeah, it's super, super awesome.
Great guys. Shipping's quick. Rocks are beautiful. I've got some videos on the Clubhouse of some rocks they sent me. Beautiful rocks. They don't even look real. They're so 3-dimensional.
So we're going back to the posts again. Here's our posts. And let me find the Fish Talk Live here. Looks like we had 524 comments and 82 reactions. So I'll pull that post up. Here it comes. Promise you. Here, hey, everybody, we need a standing ovation for the software company to make this work. It's actually working. Yeah, it's an interesting story how that worked out. So we're going to go ahead and pick 3 winners, okay? So this first winner is going to be from hashtag pound to win. And this is going to be our ADA Tank Supply winner here. And that's Noel Harding. Noel Harding, you just won a $50 gift certificate at ADA Tank Supply. Super awesome. Congratulations.
You need to reach out to James Smith.
Yeah, we'll connect you. Okay, so the second one here is going to be off of that, and this is going to be our spin to win. And, oops, I don't want to unpick right here. Lori Venker. Lori Venker, you just won spin to win. So we're going to spin right there. And then the third one, we're going to go ahead and give this away. We're going to throw the thing into the mix. Okay. So we're Ron, we've talked about this. Let's teach our viewers how to be more active and more engaging. And you guys remember some of the posts that we had where we said, if you like something, you might win. So we're going to do that. If you liked episode number 11, right here, right, I selected it by whoever reacted. So this is going to be pulled from the reacts, and you're going to win a t-shirt from Find Your Nemo. Again, Kevin, thank you so much. You're doing an awesome job. So that person right there who gave a react, who won the t-shirt from a like, you can see right here, it is a like, is Corey LeBlanc. So we need to get you in touch with them. All right, so let's spin the wheel for Lori. Let's go ahead and reset this. I'm going to give me a number on the clock where I can start this grand prize for Lori. 4. All right, that's pretty easy. That's right there. So the black one is your grand prize. The black one, if you hit the black one, you get to choose whether you want that 1,100 gallon per hour pump or if you want a large fish from Ron. There's another large fish on there. You can win a t-shirt. Like I said, we got the freshwater kits, sea cam. So let's go ahead and do that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh. So, Lori, you had just won 1 pound of food from your choice from Ron Demers' shop. Congratulations, Lori.
Congratulations, all you guys.
Yeah. All right. So let me just stop and look. Okay, I'm looking in here. I'm looking to the camera. We're officially covered from our past. Okay. So now we told you this is going to be a little longer show. For now, we are going to jump right into giving away some stuff for this show, and we're going to do it live. So here we go. Get ready for this. We are going to go ahead and pick that. So the way it works is I'm going to give you 1 minute to type in pound win. Okay, this week it's going to be pound win. I'm going to start the music. It's going to play. Go ahead and start nailing the chat right now. Pound win. Pound win. When this music's over, we're going to go ahead and draw from that, and we're going to go ahead and spin, and there's going to be a winner tonight, y'all. Tonight we're giving it away. Right now, this is the time to go ahead and light that chat up. Pound win. Pound win. And we're going to pull right off of this episode, and we're going to have a winner tonight right now. Pound win. Come on, we'll give you some more time. Pound win. I want to see someone win a fish tonight, Ron. You want to manipulate? Should we manipulate the wheel so that there's an extra fish in there or two? Give them a better chance. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. 30 seconds and we're going to close it out. Type in pound win. You want to win something? Put it in. Hey, if you like this show, if you think that this show is the coolest thing on social media, give us the likes. Go to our YouTube. Give us the subscribes. Go to the pages. Do the likes. We can give away more stuff if more people are interested in this show. So, none of this is free. It has to be paid for in one way or another. And the way we can support the show is by doing those likes and like the show and subscribe it and share it. Tell your friends about it. All that good stuff.
For anybody that actually typed in the word pound, P-O-U-N-D, it's hashtag. So put a hashtag in front of win, or we're not going to, Ticker's not going to see pound.
Yeah, Mr. Larkin, do that. Put the number symbol and then win. Not pound. Okay, I'm going to cut it off right now. I'll give it a few more seconds. Let's bring Miss Ron Demers back in. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got going on. Post. All right, everybody. So it's closed. I've got to give 90 seconds. So in that 90 seconds, we're going to go ahead and look at this week's member fish video of the week. And that's from Mr. Chad Fisher.
Chad Fisher, MBUNA. Look at that. A couple stragglers in there, but basically all MBUNA. Some white labs, some peach zebras, some albinos in there. A whole bunch of fish in there. I see a few haps in there, but beautiful MBUNA. Some big Rhodus in there.
I like the slow-mo version.
Yeah, it looks good slow-mo.
All right, so let's go ahead and...
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, awesome, Chad. Thank you so much for that. Just so you all know, Ron is on Instagram and Twitter. This is how you can do that. Special shout out and thanks to Kimberly Bosworth for taking Instagram to a whole new level.
Thank you, Kimberly.
All right, Ron. So let me pull the music down so you can tell here. Tell us about your delivery up the coast this week.
So for any of you guys who don't know, I deliver fish several times a month on my way to my other house in South Carolina. So if you live anywhere from West Palm Beach, Florida to Hilton Head, South Carolina, and want to meet me along the side of I-95, I'd be happy to meet you, deliver fish, food, shoot the breeze, shake your hand, hugs, whatever you'd like. On my way north, that saves most of my customers $30-$40+ on shipping because I just meet them on the side of the road by a gas station and hand them their goods.
All
so
right.
I will be leaving Friday morning very early and heading north. I'll probably be Jacksonville area around 9:30, 10.
Hey, anytime you can order some fish and not have to pay shipping is a good day. Hey, so our software is working again. We need applause. Throw those reactions out there because it's been a month working with this developer and getting this to work. And let me show you. Here it is. So there you go. There it is. That's what we've been looking for this whole time. Real-time access to our live feed. So right here is our live feed, and we're going to go ahead and pick the winner from those people that just instantly type that in. So still keeping the fingers crossed here. Takes a second for this part to propagate. Okay, right here. We pull this up right here real quick, Ron. So, yeah, tell them about our angst and tell them how hard we worked on this and what it felt like to not be able to do this the last 2 weeks.
You guys have to understand something. Dave and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. We don't like doing things unless it's right. And when something doesn't work right, it bothers us. And this program wasn't working correctly. And it was something simple, but it was overlooked by the manufacturer and numerous phone calls. We finally got it straightened out. It was something very simple as time zone from where they built the software and where we were. Basically, it was something as simple as that.
Yeah. Facebook and I don't know, world domination, something. I don't know.
It's 8:00 here.
Yeah,
but it's 1 a.m. the next day somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's why we couldn't see it.
All right. So here's all the hashtags people put in. Let's see. We've got for info, pound, win. Okay, so we're gonna go with number sign win like we asked for, and want to make sure that I'm feeding that in there. It's really small on my screen. Okay, so this is gonna be our spin to win for tonight's episode. And then I'm going to pick one for tonight's episode t-shirt. So there's going to be 2 winners off of this. And then I'm going to pick another one, and we're going to give 10 raffle tickets for the filter. Okay? Sounds good, Ron?
Winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. So the first one is our spin to win wheel, and that is Randy Tipton. Mr. Randy Tipton. Awesome. Congratulations, sir. So we're going to spin the wheel for you. The next one is going to be for our t-shirt. And we're going to go with the same hashtag here. And our t-shirt winner for Find Your Nemo is Mr. George Brandon. Congratulations, George. And then what do we say? We want one more for. Let's just see who listened. We'll pull it off the reactions, and we'll pull it off anybody that commented, but only one comment, so that it's not multiples. And we're going to take off the hashtag. So anybody that made any comment, anybody that made any reaction, here we go. You are going to win 10 raffle tickets for this $500 wet dry vac from Acrylic Habitats, also known as Wind Rider Creation. So here's that person. And that person is Kimberly Bosworth. Congratulations. And so this brings up a great situation, is that people said, well, we even had snotty comments. Remember, Ron? They're like, you can't have your moderators win. Oh, hell no. You know how hard they work?
Let me tell you how I'm going to break it down. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I am. Here's the deal. And Dave and I are passionate about this. If anybody has a Facebook page or anything, you got to understand how hard a lot of moderators and some of these pages work. Some of them work a little bit. Some of them work hard. That young lady we just mentioned right there puts more time and effort in than anybody I've ever seen in all my time of doing this. So my moderators, my admins, they
can
have
win.
equal rights to win a prize.
Absolutely.
I don't put my name in there, and Dave doesn't put our name in there, but everybody else, they have full reign to do that.
Remember the jackass? Remember that jackass? And I was like, hey, if Ron wanted to rig it for his moderators, why wouldn't he just call his moderator up and say, hey, I'm sending you this?
Why even have a win? I just send stuff to him. I send him stuff. I just, here, take it.
All right. So we're going to wrap up the show. Randy Tipton is our spin to win on that. We're going to spin one last time here. And here we go, Mr. Tipton. Let's see here. Woo picker. And somewhere on here is a wheel. There we go. So bringing up the wheel, sir. And Ron, give me the number 1 to 12. Or actually, hold on a second. Hold on.
Isn't it Randy's job?
Well, he's not online. I mean,
he's on.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and give me a number, Randy, 1 to 12. Well, before we do that, I've had a guest in the studio here where I'm at, and my good friend, Mr. Dave Albin. Now, Mr. Albin is from Boone, North Carolina, and if many of you know who Tony Robbins is, and you know how Tony Robbins does fire walks. Well, Mr. Albin was the fire captain, the head of the fire crew, for about 15 years for Tony Robbins. I met him about 2 years ago. We became really good friends. He was traveling from Dallas back to Boone, so he got to sit in and check out this this crazy show we've got. So anyway, if you ever want to see a really cool website and check out a really cool guy, my buddy Dave Albin, I don't have the camera on him, so I can't switch the camera, but firewalkadventures.com. Firewalkadventures.com. Great guy. Does amazing things, really well connected, just super awesome guy. So thanks for being in the control room with us. All right. So what did Randy say as far as that number is?
12.
Number 12. Okay. So we're going to bring this black. Okay. Hold on, Dave. Okay, here we go. This black, if I can spin it just tight enough, around here to 12, and it's going to spin for 7 seconds. And we want you to win a fish, man. I mean, seriously. So we've got 2 fish on this wheel, and let's hope one of them comes up. So here you go, Randy. Hey. Gosh.
So close.
So close. All right, Randy, there comes a pound of food, your choice, obviously. Adult food, the big boy formula, got the MBUNA formula, juvies, and all of that. So let me bring you back, Ron. We're about ready to wrap this up. We missed the fish of the week. How do you want to do that? You want me to throw that in, everybody, real quick?
Throw that in real quick.
All right, so the fish of the week is an MBUNA.
The Coma lime.
Yeah.
Have several nice large males, 3.5 inches or so. Beautiful fish. Still relatively new to the hobby. I love these little guys. They're very energetic, mind their own business. They're not aggressive. They look very much like a Chismulu Island. They look very similar, but these guys have a very robust yellow on them.
So this fish, like always, for 24 hours is going to be 25% off. Use the same code as before, S11 Lime. You get a 4-inch MBUNA for less than 20, or for right around 20 or less than $20. So
Retail
it's really
20,
cool.
So you take off 25%, you're looking at like $15.
Yeah, so a super awesome deal. We appreciate all these deals every week. You doing that, Ron. There's a lot of winners tonight. We're gonna have to go through. I'm gonna have to watch the show again to track everybody.
I wrote it all down.
Okay, good. All right. Reach out to us on Facebook on Fish Talk Live. You can go to the website, fishtalklive.tv. I'm going to bring you back.
And also, for any of the winners, go to the website and create an account on there, please.
Yeah.
Put your information, your email, all that stuff, and then I have a way of getting it easier.
All right, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you, everybody. It's been super awesome to run this show. This is one of my most enjoyable shows. Go ahead, Ron. Let's take us out.
It was for me as well. People would, I saw a comment earlier that says, "Oh, 2 shows a week would be awesome." Dave and I talk about this a lot. It's hard. I'm a full-time dad, husband. I run this business, and takes quite a bit of hours to provide you an hour of content. So I've been doing a lot of research and writing down for the last few days, and it's important to me that this was about MBUNA, and it felt good to share all that info with you guys. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to next week. We're going to talk about peacocks, and hope you all learned something. Thanks for coming. Glad we got some prizes all taken care of, and congratulations to all of our winners. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.